Welcome to this video to improve your English through conversation podcasts. The first part is a deep conversation about a story or a topic, and the second is his vocabulary. Feel free to listen to it at any time. But to progress quickly by immersion in English, we advise you to listen to it before bed and leave it on while you sleep or work at home. This will sharpen your ear and improve your English listening, pronunciation, and vocabulary. Let's dive in.
Again, leave the video on and your unconscious will do the work to make you progress without you even realizing it by combining the practice of listening and repeating what you just heard, even if you didn't understand everything. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
All right, so you want to understand Elon Musk.
We've got a ton of material here.
We've got articles,
interviews,
even his Wikipedia page.
It's going to be a wild ride.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think what's really fascinating about Elon Musk is that he embodies that entrepreneurial spirit, taking risks, disrupting industries, constantly pushing boundaries.
He's done it all.
He has.
From coding video games as a kid to online payments. Now, space travel, sustainable energy.
Absolutely.
I mean, his story is incredible for anyone looking to start a business.
It's a gold mine of insight.
Yeah. Okay, so let's rewind to the beginning.
Okay.
Musk was born in Pretoria, South Africa, back in 1971.
Okay.
And even as a kid,
Yeah.
he was already showing signs of being a bit of a maverick.
Always pushing the limits.
Taught himself computer programming.
Wow.
And sold his first video game at 12 years old.
That's not your average preteen.
That's not your average anything.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I mean, that early initiative and drive are really key themes in his story.
Right.
He was always
The
curious.
self-starter.
Yeah.
And those traits really shaped his path.
And then he moves to Canada.
Yeah.
And then to the U.S.
Chasing bigger opportunities.
Wow.
And think about that for a second.
Yeah.
How many people are truly willing to leave everything familiar behind
Exactly.
to pursue their ambitions?
That's a great question for our listeners.
It is.
Yeah. And that ambition led him to start his first company,
Okay.
Zip2.
Right.
And this was an online city guide.
Yeah, back in the early days of the internet.
Early days.
Providing business directories and maps to newspapers.
It was a pretty innovative concept.
It was cutting edge at the time.
And then ultimately he sells it to Compaq for $307 million.
Not a bad first exit.
Not bad at all.
No?
And he was only 28 years old.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That sale gave him the capital to really chase those big ideas.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
So where things take off.
So he co-founds X.com,
Right.
which focused on online financial services.
At the time, a very new idea.
And that eventually merges with Confinity to become PayPal.
Exactly. The game changer we all use today.
I use it all the time.
I mean, who doesn't?
And eBay sees the potential.
They did.
Buys it for $1.5 billion in 2002.
That sale catapulted Musk into billionaire status.
It did.
Gave him the financial freedom to pursue even crazier dreams.
Yeah, and this is where the lessons for entrepreneurs really start to pop.
This is where it gets interesting.
He wasn't content.
Yeah.
Just resting on his laurels.
Not at all.
He had this deeper purpose, right?
This belief that humanity needed to become a multi-planetary species.
Wow.
And shift to sustainable energy sources.
It wasn't just about making money.
It was about tackling huge global challenges.
And that brings us to SpaceX.
Founded in 2002.
And Tesla in 2004.
That's right.
These weren't just companies for Musk.
They were missions.
Yeah. And what's amazing is that he wasn't afraid to put his own skin in the game.
Absolutely.
He invests a massive chunk of his PayPal fortune into SpaceX.
Huge risk.
Almost goes bankrupt, keeping Tesla afloat during those early production struggles with the Model 3.
He was willing to risk it all.
Yeah, that level of commitment and belief is amazing.
It's inspiring.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just about rockets and electric cars.
Yeah.
He also founded the Boring Company,
Okay.
aiming to revolutionize transportation with underground tunnels and Neuralink, which is developing brain-machine interfaces
To treat neurological conditions.
Right.
And potentially enhance human capabilities.
It's mind-blowing.
These ventures show how relentlessly he pursues innovation.
He does.
Tackling some of humanity's most complex problems head on.
Absolutely.
And he's not afraid to explore uncharted territory,
He's a true pioneer.
even if it means attracting criticism and skepticism along the way.
He doesn't shy away from a challenge.
No, he doesn't.
And that's a valuable lesson for anyone looking to disrupt an industry
Right.
or create something truly groundbreaking.
Sometimes you have to go against the grain.
You do.
And challenge conventional thinking.
Absolutely. Welcome back to our deep dive into Elon Musk.
It's time to get inside the mind of a man who's been called a visionary genius.
And a demanding micromanager.
So how does Musk lead his companies?
Musk's leadership is often characterized as intense,
Okay.
demanding, laser-focused on results. He sets incredibly ambitious goals and expects his teams to work tirelessly to achieve them.
I've heard about those late-night emails.
Oh, yeah. He's known for sending company-wide emails at all hours.
Really?
Expecting quick responses.
Wow.
It's not your typical 9-to-5 environment.
So it's more like a constant mission-driven sprint.
Exactly.
That sounds pretty intense. I mean, do you think that kind of leadership is sustainable in the long run?
That's a great question. It's a topic that's been debated a lot.
Right.
While his drive and passion have undoubtedly fueled SpaceX and Tesla's success, there's been criticism about the demanding work culture.
Okay.
The pressure cooker environment.
I can see that.
Some former employees have described a culture of fear.
Really?
Burnout.
Wow.
With Musk known for impulsive firings and public reprimands.
Sounds like working for Musk can be a high-stakes, high-reward kind of experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but there's no doubt that he attracts some of the brightest minds in the world.
He does. Musk has a knack for assembling teams of incredibly talented engineers and scientists.
People who are drawn to his vision.
That's right, the chance to work on cutting-edge technology.
And he's deeply involved in the technical details himself.
He is.
Often described as a hands-on leader.
Very much so.
Which brings us to another fascinating aspect of Musk.
Okay.
His perspective on artificial intelligence, or AI.
Right.
He's been both a champion and a cautious voice when it comes to AI development.
He has.
So can you shed some light on that?
Sure. Musk has repeatedly expressed concerns about the potential risks of uncontrolled AI development. He argues that if we're not careful, AI could eventually surpass human intelligence and pose a serious threat.
AI turning against us? That sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It's not just science fiction to him.
Oh, so it's a real concern.
A real concern.
But he's also involved in AI development himself, right? I mean, he was one of the co-founders of OpenAI.
That's right. Musk was an early investor in OpenAI.
Okay.
A research company dedicated to developing what they call friendly AI.
Okay.
AI that benefits humanity.
Okay.
However, he later stepped down from the board.
Why is that?
Expressing concerns about the direction the company was taking.
Interesting.
He also founded Neuralink,
Yeah.
a company developing brain-machine interfaces.
Brain-machine interfaces, what is that?
What if we could connect our brains directly to computers?
Really?
That's what Neuralink is working on.
Wow.
They're developing implants that could potentially treat neurological conditions like Parkinson's.
Okay.
But Musk's vision goes beyond that.
What does he want to do?
He believes that brain-machine interfaces could eventually help humans keep pace with rapidly advancing AI.
Essentially enhancing our own cognitive ability.
Exactly.
So he's not against AI development altogether.
No.
But he wants to ensure it's done ethically.
Responsibly.
And he's exploring ways for humans to adapt.
Thrive in a future where AI plays an increasingly significant role.
Okay, now let's shift gears a bit and talk about colonizing Mars.
Right.
It sounds like science fiction, but he seems genuinely committed to making it happen.
He is. Musk believes that becoming a multiplanetary species is crucial for the long-term survival of humanity.
And why is that?
He views Earth as a single point of failure.
Right.
If something catastrophic were to happen,
Like what?
a giant asteroid impact,
Okay.
a global pandemic,
Right.
wipes out a significant portion of the population.
Right.
Having a self-sustaining colony on another planet would be our backup plan.
So Mars is the backup plan.
He sees Mars as the most viable option, and SpaceX is dedicated to developing the technology to get us there.
SpaceX has already achieved some remarkable things.
They have.
Reusable rockets.
Spacecraft.
But colonizing Mars is a whole different ballgame.
It is.
What are some of the major challenges?
The challenges are immense.
Like what?
Mars is a harsh and unforgiving environment.
Okay.
The atmosphere is incredibly thin.
Yeah.
Temperatures are extreme.
Right.
And there's no liquid water on the surface.
It doesn't sound very hospitable.
Not at all.
So just transporting humans to Mars is a monumental feat.
It is.
But establishing a self-sustaining colony requires overcoming countless technical and logistical obstacles.
Countless.
So what's Musk's strategy for making this happen?
Musk's vision involves developing a fully reusable spacecraft,
Okay.
what he calls the Starship,
I've heard about that.
capable of transporting large numbers of people and cargo to Mars.
Okay.
He envisions building a fleet of these starships to enable mass migration to Mars.
A fleet of starships, it sounds like Star Wars.
It does a bit, doesn't it?
But let's say we get to Mars.
All right.
How do we survive there?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Musk has talked about terraforming Mars.
What does that even mean?
It essentially involves transforming the planet's environment to make it more habitable for humans.
So how would that work?
Imagine releasing greenhouse gases into the Martian atmosphere to warm the planet, melt the polar ice caps,
and that would create
eventually a thicker atmosphere, liquid water on the surface.
Terraforming Mars, that's next level thinking.
It is.
But are there any challenges with that?
It's a concept that's sparked both excitement and skepticism within the scientific community.
Okay.
Some scientists believe that terraforming Mars is theoretically possible.
Okay.
While others argue that it's technologically impractical or even ethically questionable.
It's certainly a topic that sparks the imagination.
It does.
But even if terraforming is possible, it would likely take centuries.
Centuries, yeah.
So how does Musk propose humans survive in the meantime?
He envisions building enclosed habitats on Mars.
What would that look like?
Essentially, self-contained cities that would provide humans with a breathable atmosphere.
Okay.
Controlled temperatures. Right. All the resources they need to live.
So picture this.
Okay.
Living in a giant dome on Mars.
Ross.
Venturing out in spacesuits to explore this alien world.
It sounds like the ultimate adventure.
But incredibly challenging.
It would require a complete reimagining of how we live and work.
Yeah.
How we interact with our environment.
Everything would have to change.
Everything.
Food production.
Waste management.
It would need to be re-engineered to function on Mars.
Complete.
And we can't forget about the psychological impact of living in a confined space millions of miles from Earth.
It would be like the ultimate isolation experiment.
How would we deal with that?
The psychological well-being of Martian colonists would be critical.
It would.
Musk acknowledges these challenges, emphasizes the importance of creating a vibrant and stimulating environment for settlers.
Interesting.
He's even suggested building entertainment facilities.
Entertainment facilities on Mars.
And recreational areas on Mars to help maintain morale.
That's something I'd love to see.
It would be quite a sight.
But let's step back for a moment and consider what drives Musk's relentless pursuit of these audacious goals.
All right.
What's his underlying motivation?
I think it's a combination of factors.
Okay.
He has an unwavering belief in the power of technology to solve problems and improve the human condition.
He's also driven by a sense of urgency, right?
He is. He believes we need to act now to address potential existential threats.
Whether it's climate change here on Earth,
or the hypothetical risk of AI becoming uncontrollable.
He's not content with sitting back and waiting for someone else to solve these problems.
Not at all.
He's definitely not afraid to take risks.
He embraces risk.
Even if it means facing criticism or potential failure.
Absolutely.
It seems like he thrives on pushing boundaries.
Challenging conventional wisdom.
But it's not just about taking risks for the sake of it.
No.
It seems like Musk is deeply motivated by a long-term vision.
A sense of purpose.
That extends beyond just making money or achieving personal success.
That's right. He's thinking decades.
Even centuries ahead.
It's about ensuring the survival and advancement of humanity as a species.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From Musk's leadership style.
His thoughts on AI.
His vision for colonizing Mars.
It's been a fascinating journey.
It's clear that he's a complex and multifaceted individual.
He is.
Driven by a unique combination of ambition, innovation, and a deep sense of purpose.
Absolutely.
Welcome back to our deep dive on Elon Musk.
So now we're going to tackle some of the bigger questions.
Yeah, we've seen his incredible ambition.
The relentless innovation.
The controversies.
But what are the potential downsides to his approach?
What are the long-term implications for society as a whole?
One of the most pressing concerns is the concentration of wealth and power in the hands of a single individual.
He's the wealthiest person in the world.
Right, and that gives him an incredible amount of influence.
Across industries.
Technology.
Even political discourse.
It raises questions
about
the potential for his decisions to have a disproportionate impact on the lives of others.
It's like the old saying,
with great power
comes great responsibility.
Exactly.
So how is Musk handling that responsibility?
Well, that's where things get a bit more complicated.
Okay.
Musk has certainly engaged in philanthropy.
Okay.
He's stated his intention to use his wealth to address global challenges, but there are concerns about his decision-making processes, the potential for unintended consequences.
Like what?
Take his acquisition of Twitter. now X, for example.
Okay.
His changes to the platform's policies,
particularly around content moderation,
have sparked a lot of debate about the spread of misinformation.
and the impact on public trust in traditional media.
Yeah, his critics argue that his approach to free speech,
What he calls free speech absolutism.
could actually end up harming free speech
How?
by allowing platforms like X to become breeding grounds for hate speech,
Harassment
propaganda,
that could silence marginalized voices.
and make it harder for people to find accurate information,
It highlights the tension between allowing unrestricted free speech,
and the need to protect individuals from harm
create a space where diverse viewpoints can be heard.
without fear of being drowned out or silenced.
It's a discussion that will likely continue for a long time.
It will.
It's not just about social media either.
Right.
There are also questions about the environmental impact of some of his companies.
Particularly Tesla.
While electric vehicles are a step towards sustainable transportation,
There are concerns about the environmental costs.
associated with mining rare earth minerals needed for batteries.
The energy-intensive manufacturing processes involved?
It's a crucial point
It is.
as we transition to a more sustainable future.
We have to consider the entire life cycle of products.
From resource extraction and manufacturing to disposal and recycling,
It's not enough to just focus on reducing tailpipe emissions.
we have to address the environmental footprint of every stage of production and consumption.
Absolutely.
It seems like Musk's ventures often force us to confront these complex trade-offs.
They do.
We see the potential for incredible advancements. We also have to grapple with the potential downsides and unintended consequences.
It's really up to us as a society to have these tough conversations.
Yeah.
Find solutions that balance innovation with responsibility.
As we assess Musk's legacy,
It's likely to be a mixed bag of extraordinary achievements and cautionary tales.
he's undoubtedly a brilliant innovator.
He's pushed the boundaries of technology.
Captured the imagination of millions with his bold vision.
But he's also shown that even the most well-intentioned efforts can have unforeseen and potentially negative consequences.
So what can we learn from all of this?
What does Musk's story tell us about innovation?
Ambition.
The role of technology in shaping our future?
One key takeaway is that innovation is rarely a solo endeavor.
It requires collaboration,
Critical thinking.
a willingness to consider different perspectives,
We have to ask tough questions.
challenge assumptions.
Hold those in power accountable.
Even if they claim to have all the answers,
Technology is just a tool
it can be used to create incredible things,
to solve problems,
improve our lives,
but it can also be misused.
and it can have unintended consequences.
We have a responsibility to shape the future we want.
To guide technological development in a way that benefits humanity as a whole.
Musk's story is ultimately a story of human ingenuity,
Ambition.
the power of dreaming big.
It's a reminder that we are capable of extraordinary things.
When we set our minds to it,
The future is not predetermined.
it's a canvas waiting to be painted by those who are bold enough to dream,
To take risks.
to challenge the status quo.
What will your contribution be?
That's a great question for our listeners.
We encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments section of our YouTube channel.
And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode that can help you shape your own entrepreneurial journey. All right. Welcome back for another deep dive. And today, we're going to be tackling something pretty different.
Okay.
We're going to be boosting your English vocabulary by looking into the world of a certain someone,
Great.
Elon Musk.
Oh, wow.
I know what you're thinking. What does a tech CEO have to do with my English skills?
Right.
Controversial innovator.
Controversial is certainly one word for him, but no matter your opinion on him, there's no denying that his story is a gold mine for language learners.
Absolutely. So let's unpack this video.
Yeah.
And we're going to be starting with Musk's early life
Okay.
down in South Africa. Now, the video describes him as a maverick, even as a kid. I mean, this isn't your typical preteen,
Right.
selling his first video game at 12 years old.
Yeah, definitely not.
Right.
Maverick really paints a vivid picture, doesn't it? Someone who doesn't play by the rules, forging their own path.
Right.
And that early display of initiative, I mean, that's really key here. Think of initiative as that self-starter energy,
Yeah.
that ability to take action without being told what to do.
Right.
You'll hear this word a lot in business contexts.
Oh, absolutely. So we got a maverick with initiative. Okay. Now, the video highlights his ambitions driving him from South Africa all the way to Canada. and then the U.S.
Wow.
So what exactly are ambitions?
Ambitions are those burning desires to achieve something big. They require hard work, determination, and sometimes a willingness to leave your comfort zone. Think of it as fuel propelling someone forward.
I like that. That's a good one. Now, Musk's ambition led him to co-found Zip2, which was an online city guide.
Interesting.
And this was pretty innovative in the early days of the internet.
Yeah, for sure.
So here's where it gets interesting. They describe Zip2 as being on the cutting edge.
Ooh.
That sounds kind of sharp.
Well, it means being at the forefront of a field, the most advanced or pioneering. You know, it was a game changer in how people access information online.
That's awesome. I bet selling Zip2 was a pretty sweet exit for him. What does exit mean in this context?
An exit in business is when an investor sells their stake in a company, hopefully for a profit. In Musk's case, he sold Zip2 to Compaq, a computer giant, for a hefty sum. That's what we call a successful exit strategy.
There you go. So we got Maverick initiative, big ambitions, creating something innovative and on the cutting edge, and a profitable exit. I mean, this guy's vocabulary is already impressive.
And we're just getting started. His next venture was co-founding X.com, which later merged with Confinity to become the game changer we all know as PayPal.
Game changer again. I mean, this guy just keeps disrupting things. But the video says that even after becoming a billionaire, this guy had a deeper purpose.
This is a crucial concept. Deeper purpose suggests that someone's motivations go beyond just money or personal gain.
Okay.
It's about a mission, a belief system, driving their actions.
I see. So what was Musk's deeper purpose? Was it space exploration with SpaceX? Or was it sustainable energy with Tesla?
Both, actually. He saw them as missions, not just companies. He wasn't afraid to put his skin in the game, risking his own fortune to pursue these goals.
Skin in the game. That sounds risky.
It is. It means having something personal at stake, putting your money where your mouth is, so to speak. And this willingness to take risks is a hallmark of Musk's entrepreneurial style.
So far, we've covered Maverick, initiative, ambitions, innovative, cutting-edge exit, game changer, deeper purpose, missions, and skin in the game.
Wow.
That's a mouthful.
That's quite a vocabulary boost already, and we're just getting warmed up.
I'm excited.
Stick with us as we delve deeper into the world of Elon Musk and unearth even more exciting English expressions. Welcome back to our deep dive into the vocabulary of Elon Musk. Last time we were looking at words like maverick initiative, those big ambitions.
Yeah, and we saw how those words really paint a picture of this guy as a risk taker with a deeper purpose.
Absolutely no.
Let's dive back into this video and see what other linguistic gems we can dig up.
Okay, so the video talks about Musk's leadership style and describes it as intense and demanding.
Okay.
But one phrase that really stood out to me was laser-focused.
Laser-focused. That sounds intense.
It is. It means having an extremely sharp and unwavering focus on a particular goal. Think of a laser beam. Precise, concentrated, and powerful.
Right.
That's how Musk approaches his work, and he expects the same from his teams.
So you're telling me working for Musk is no walk in the park?
It's definitely not for everyone.
The video mentions those late-night emails.
Yeah.
And a non-typical work environment. What does that mean exactly?
Well, a non-typical work environment means it's different from the usual 9-to-5 routine. Think long hours, unconventional expectations, and a constant push for innovation.
Gotcha.
It's not for everyone, but it's yielded remarkable results for Musk's companies.
Speaking of innovation, let's talk about Musk's complex relationship with artificial intelligence, or AI.
Okay.
Now, the video says he's both championing its development while also expressing caution about it.
Right.
So what's that all about?
So championing something means being a strong advocate or supporter of something.
Okay.
Musk recognizes the potential of AI to solve complex problems and advance humanity. But he's also concerned about the risks if it's not developed responsibly.
So he's worried about AI
Yeah.
surpassing human intelligence, right?
Exactly. So passing means exceeding or going beyond a certain limit.
Okay.
Musk believes that if AI becomes more intelligent than humans, it could pose a serious threat if its goals don't align with our own.
Right, like it's got a mind of its own.
Exactly. It's a topic that's often explored in science fiction. But Musk believes it's a real possibility that we need to consider.
So that's where his involvement with OpenAI comes in. They're trying to develop what they call friendly AI.
Right. Friendly AI is a concept that aims to create artificial intelligence that is beneficial to humans,
Yep.
aligned with our values, and won't turn against us. It's a complex challenge, And there's no guarantee of success, but it's a crucial area of research.
And then there's Neuralink, which is developing those brain-machine interfaces that we've talked about before.
Right.
That's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It is pretty mind-blowing. Remember, brain-machine interfaces are direct connections between the human brain and computers.
Okay.
Musk believes this technology has the potential to treat neurological conditions, enhance human capabilities, and even merge our minds with AI in the future.
Wow. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about Musk's ultimate backup plan for humanity.
Oh, okay.
Colonizing Mars.
Colonizing Mars, why does he see it as a backup plan?
Well, he views Earth as a single point of failure. So if something catastrophic were to happen, like an asteroid impact or a global pandemic, having a self-sustaining colony on Mars would ensure humanity's survival.
So Mars is our escape hatch.
Exactly. But the video mentions it has a harsh environment, with a thin atmosphere, extreme temperatures, and no liquid water.
Yeah, those are some serious challenges.
Yeah, they are. That's why Musk believes we need to terraform Mars, which basically means transforming its environment to make it more Earth-like.
Terraforming, another great word.
It is.
It sounds like something straight out of a science fiction novel.
Right.
And it would be an incredibly complex and lengthy process. But Musk believes it's possible and necessary if we want to establish a permanent human presence on Mars.
So far, we've added laser-focused, non-typical work environment, championing surpassing friendly AI, thin atmosphere, extreme temperatures, no liquid water, and terraform to our vocabulary list.
Wow.
I'm feeling pretty eloquent already.
That's the power of language learning. It opens up new worlds and helps you understand complex concepts.
And speaking of complex concepts, we're about to delve into some of the ethical considerations surrounding Musk's ventures.
Okay.
But first, we got to take a quick break. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more insightful deep dives and vocabulary boosters. And we're back for the final part of our Elon Musk vocabulary booster.
It's amazing how much ground we've covered.
I know, right? From Maverick all the way to terraforming.
It really is mind-boggling.
But it's not just about the words themselves, is it?
You're right. It's about understanding the concepts, the nuances, the impact of Musk's actions.
Exactly.
And that's where this video gets really interesting, because it delves into some of those ethical considerations.
Yeah, things get a little more complicated here.
This is where the critical thinking comes in. You know, as language learners, it's not enough to just memorize words.
Right.
We need to be able to use those words to analyze information, to form opinions, and to participate in meaningful discussions.
I like that now the video touches on the concern that Musk's wealth and influence could have unintended consequences. That's a big one.
So what does that mean exactly?
Well, unintended consequences are outcomes that weren't foreseen or intended.
Okay.
It's like a ripple effect. An action might have unforeseen consequences that impact a much wider circle than initially planned.
I see.
Think of it like throwing a pebble into a pond. You intend to just make a splash, but the ripples, they spread out far and wide.
So Musk's decisions, even with good intentions, could have consequences he doesn't even anticipate.
Precisely. And the video brings up his acquisition of Twitter as an example.
It is now X.
Right, X, exactly.
So he championed free speech, but some argue that his approach could actually harm free speech by allowing the platform to be used for spreading misinformation or hate speech.
It's a good point. It's a reminder that even the most brilliant minds can make mistakes or overlook potential downsides.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important to have open dialogue and encourage critical thinking.
I agree with you.
We need to be able to question assumptions, consider different perspectives, and hold those in power accountable.
Well said. It seems like Musk's story is full of these complex trade-offs, pushing boundaries, driving innovation, but also facing these potential pitfalls.
That's what makes it such a fascinating study, both from a language learning perspective and a societal one. I mean, his ventures really force us to confront these big questions about the role of technology, the ethics of progress, the future we're creating.
So for our listeners today, what's the final takeaway? What can they learn from this deep dive into Elon Musk's world, beyond just the vocabulary boost?
Well, I think the big takeaway is that language is power. It's a tool for understanding, for connecting, for shaping the world around us.
Like that.
By expanding our vocabulary, we empower ourselves to engage with those complex issues, to participate in those meaningful conversations, and to make informed decisions.
And to never stop learning.
Absolutely. Musk's relentless pursuit of knowledge should be an inspiration to us all.
I agree. So keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep pushing yourselves to learn and grow.
Well said.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of Elon Musk. We've covered a lot of ground and uncovered some fascinating vocabulary along the way.
And remember, the best way to solidify all this new learning is to put these words into practice.
Okay, how do we do that?
Use them in your conversations, write them down, create your own examples. The more you use them, the more confident you'll become.
That's great advice, and don't forget to check out the original YouTube video, Learn English with Podcast Conversation, the story of Elon Musk, on the YFloor channel.
It's a fantastic resource for language learners.
As always, we'd love to hear from you, so share your thoughts on this episode down in the comments below.
What new words or expressions did you learn? What insights about Elon Musk resonated with you? Let's keep this conversation going.
And if you enjoyed this vocabulary booster, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future deep dives.
We've got plenty more linguistic adventures in store for you.
Until next time, happy learning.